People around the world are using solar ovens to reduce reliance on firewood and coal. Even if you have electricity, a solar oven can be an effective, energy-saving way to cook your food. If you want a really heavy-duty solar oven that will last a long time, you can make one from a metal drum. Cut a large metal drum in half vertically with a jigsaw. An oil drum will work well for this purpose. Be sure to use a metal cutting blade. When you're done, the half drum should look like a cradle. You only need half of the drum to make the oven. You can discard the other half. Clean the inside of the half drum with a degreasing soap. Put some degreasing soap onto a scrub brush. Thoroughly scrub the inside of the half drum with degreasing soap and water. Pay extra attention to the corners and crevices, where grease can accumulate. Cut a large rectangle of sheet metal to fit the curved interior of the drum. The long side should be as long as the long side of the drum. The other should equal the curved width of the interior of the drum. You can measure the curved interior with a flexible measuring tape, and then mark it out on the sheet metal. Use tin snips to cut sheet metal. Always wear safety goggles and protective gloves when cutting sheet metal. For the large rectangle, one side be as long as the long side of the drum, the other should equal the curved length of the interior. You can measure this with a flexible measuring tape. Cut 2 half circles to fit inside the ends of the drum. Cut a string the length of the radius of the end of the drum. Tie a marker to the end of the string. Hold the string onto the sheet metal, and swivel the marker around to draw a circle. Cut out the circle and cut it in half. Cut using tin snips, wearing safety goggles and protective gloves. Attach the sheet metal to the inside of the drum. Drill holes through both the sheet metal and the drum with a 1/8 inch, 32 cm, drill bit, then apply 1/8 inch, 32 cm, pop rivets with a rivet gun. Slide the rivet into the nozzle of the rivet gun. Place the rivet into the hole you have drilled and squeeze the trigger of the rivet gun. Paint the inside of the oven with a reflective paint rated for barbecues. This will maximize the amount of heat inside the oven. You can buy reflective paint at a hardware store or online. Make sure that you wear gloves and non-fancy clothes when you're painting, and that you paint in a well-ventilated place, preferably outside. Create a metal lip with flashing around 3 top edges of the oven. This will hold the glass top, which you will slide in and out through the open side. The easiest way to create a lip is with 6 pieces of metal flashing. Make a flashing sandwich by putting on 2 layers of flashing so that the glass can slide between them, instead of sliding on the uneven edges of the barrel. Place a strip of thick cardboard in between the 2 layers of flashing to hold them apart while you drill through both layers and attach the flashing to the drum with pop rivets. Remove the cardboard and repeat until 3 of the top sides of the drum have flashing sandwiches. Flip the half drum over and apply spray-on insulation to the outside. Wear gloves and do this outside because spray-on insulation is very sticky. Apply a thin, even layer over the entire oven. Spray-on insulation expands a lot, so start with a thin layer, and wait for it to dry before applying more. Attach a base to the bottom of the oven to keep it from tipping over. Drill and screw the drum to a piece of wood or a square aluminum frame with wheels, depending on whether you want your oven to be stationary or portable. In the northern hemisphere, you should angle your oven southward. At the equator, face your oven directly upward. Drill drainage holes in the bottom of the oven. Drill a small hole about every 3 inches, 7.6 centimeters, in a straight line across the bottom of the oven. Make sure to pierce the insulation. The small holes will allow condensation to escape the oven. Slide a custom-sized sheet of tempered glass into the metal lip. Tempered glass is tougher than regular glass, and it comes with the sharp edges ground off. That means you can use it as is, without having to sand. The glass should be about 3/16 inch, 0.48 centimeters, to be thick enough to be sturdy. You'll have to custom order the glass at a hardware store based on the dimensions of your solar oven. Insert a thermometer into the oven. If you want, a wood stove thermometer is a good choice because it has magnetic backing and can withstand high, constant heat. Because the drum is metal, the magnetic thermometer will stick to any part of the oven. You can check the thermometer to see how hot your oven has gotten, but to really make sure that your food has cooked sufficiently, you should use a meat thermometer. Place aluminum racks on the bottom of the oven. Place 1 or 2 rectangular grills into the oven so that you can position your food, just like cooking in an electric oven. This is helpful because without the grill, the bottom of your oven is curved, making it tricky to place any pans in the oven. You don't have to secure the grills into place. You can just place them into the bottom of the oven. Cook your food on a sunny day. Place food in the oven and let it sit for many hours. To cook meat, follow a similar process as you would if you were using a crock-pot, or some other kind of slow cooker. To roast a chicken, for instance, you might need about 5 hours. Test the meat's internal temperature with a meat thermometer to make sure it gets to 170 degrees Fahrenheit, 77 degrees Celsius, the temperature that kills germs. Most solar ovens reach a maximum heat between 250 degrees Fahrenheit, 121 degrees Celsius, and 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 177 degrees Celsius. However, the size, materials, and insulation of your particular oven will determine how hot your oven gets. Depending on your location, you should angle your oven in different directions to make the most of the available sunlight.
Please click on the link below the video to watch the full content. If you are interested,